Right, players that we want out of Chelsea this summer. Should we give that a bit of context? Because wanting out sounds a little bit bad.
I mean, I'm more
it?
desperate for all of these players to go.
Okay, sweet. Well, let's roll with it then. I'll start off. Kepa, he can go.
I'm desperate for him to go.
Yeah.
I mean, he's third choice for Real Madrid. By the way, did you see him celebrating after the game?
I didn't.
Against PSG. No, it wasn't PSG. It was, who did they beat? Bayern Munich, sorry. They beat Bayern Munich. Mate, he was out there celebrating like he'd been at the Real Madrid Academy his whole life. It was bad.
Cringe, yeah.
It was really
Was
cringe because
he
was. Of course, he wasn't playing. Mate, I'm not taking the piss. He's third choice. Courtois was on the bench yesterday. Yeah. Mate, and what's the most embarrassing thing for him? Yeah, what's the most embarrassing thing is he's absolutely gone. They don't want him there. So, like, mate, honestly, like, calm down a bit, Kepa.
For him, isn't he?
Yeah, but honestly, calm down, Kepa. He's twerking for third choice.
Mug.
Mate, ready for him to go. Where's he going to end up, by the way, quickly?
Ooh.
I think he ends up at like a mid-table Spanish team.
I'd say Italian.
Or Girona, someone like that.
You say Girona, but that's who that fella plays for that we quite like, isn't it?
No, that's Valencia. Mama's really. Yeah.
Mama's really.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Oh, big fan of him.
Yeah. Okay, Kepa's gone.
Okay. Another man that is now gone, who I had on this list, but news sort of come through, not long ago. Hakim Ziyech.
Do you want to have a guess about how much money we got for him? Because I had on my list, when we discussed this last time, I said £10 million we'll bring in for him.
Yeah, but I did say you were mad. And I said,
no, you did not.
I did.
You did not.
I did. I said you will not get 10 mil for him.
Okay, have a guess.
I said we'd get 5 mil for him. By the way, before we answer this, how much did we spend on him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
He come from Ajax.
I bet it's a lot of money.
Did Ajax come from?
Yeah, Ajax. Yeah.
And it was after they had the
It must have been 40 million.
League
It must have been at least 40.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
And it's weird because Ajax wingers never normally flop in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, they're usually pretty good. Yeah. Anthony's been brilliant, actually, in the Premier League.
He's been unreal.
Yeah, he has been.
He's been unreal.
Stephen Bergwijn.
Who needs goals and assists when you can do the sort of around the worldy
thing?
Yeah. Idiot.
Was Bergwijn from Ajax as well?
I don't think Bergwijn was even that bad, but I think he was from PSV, wasn't he?
PSV, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But from Holland as well.
Memphis Depay,
yeah. Was he Ajax? No, he wasn't either. He wasn't Ajax. So yeah, the Holland, the Dutch wingers, not been good.
Not great. I'll give you a good one.
Go on.
Dirk Kuyt.
Was he good? I remember him being a bit of a wanker, to be honest.
Liverpool weren't that good at that time. So it's like,
I think,
you know what I compare it to, yeah? I went to an all-boys high school. And there'd be a teacher, and she would be, if you saw her in the pub, she's a 5 out of 10. Yeah. Bang average. Nothing wrong with her. Lovely, lovely bird, I'm sure, but bang average, coffee breath. And then, because it was an all-boys school, it'd be like, oh my God, she
unreal.
She fucking brilliant.
Unreal.
And you know, she ain't been to India, but she's a goer. I can tell. I can tell by the way she marks my homework. She wants to fuck.
Yeah. She did put the phone number on the homework, which is
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Dirk Kuyt at Liverpool around that time, was he good?
So true.
Or was it just a low standard?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you watch that clip that I sent you about the Liverpool player last night on the group?
No.
There was a Liverpool player that was omitted from the squads. We'll link this in the description because it's a very good clip that people should watch. He was omitted from the Istanbul squad. And Rafa Benitez said that he was in the team to be in that squad to play the Champions League final. Listed it. He got ready, told all his family that to come to the Champions League final. I'm going to be there. Make sure you come and watch me. He was going to be on the bench. I think it was Stephen Finnan, by the way. But I'll send the clip. Great player. And he didn't make the squad. Rafa Benitez didn't even have the balls to call him up himself. He got one of his assistant managers to call him and say, oh yeah, by the way, we made a mistake with the squad list. You're not on it. And he absolutely did him dirty. By the way, all of the players that were in the 18, if they'd won, they got a bonus of 200 grand. So he didn't even get any cash for it. Mate, it's a great story. Worth watching that.
FSW.
Fuck off Benitez, by the way.
FSW, you know what that stands for?
Go on.
Guess.
Tell me.
I'll give you the word.
Tell
I'll
me.
give you the first F.
Fuck.
Fat.
Fat Spanish waiter.
Fat Spanish waiter. So Ziyech is gone. Yeah, he can fuck off. I'm not too bothered.
Yeah.
Broa, he wants to move.
I mean, bro, you has to go.
Yeah.
Bro, you has to go. He's not anywhere near the Fulham squad.
Yeah. You know what? Do you remember my shout for Broa?
Was it Southampton going back there? Yeah. I like that.
Go back to Saints.
Yeah. Respect to Broya, by the way. I like him.
Yeah,
I like him as a bloke.
I really like him.
Yeah.
Really, really like him. I just think that injury, man.
Such a shame.
Such a shame because it was so pointless.
Yeah,
not,
I know.
Not mid-season.
How many
friendly.
times have we done that?
How often do Chelsea play a mid-season friendly?
Well, every time we play it, we get a serious injury. Look at Ruben.
Shit, man,
Yeah.
absolutely shit. Malang Sarr,
Mate, how the hell is this guy still at the club? By the way, you know the wages involved in this, don't you?
go.
He's on $100,000 a week, Malang Sarr, to play with the kids.
Is he earning it? Good value?
Yeah, oh mate, he's worth that. He's worth $100,000.
Well, he is actually, because we put up a clip talking about him being on $100,000 a week, and it paid me a shed load of TikTok cash.
Do you know who he reminds me of as well? Do you remember this player? You mentioned him recently on the forgotten player list, Papi Dillaboji.
Mate.
Yeah. What happened with that? Was that a Mourinho signing? It was
maybe.
I think it might have been within the Mourinho era.
I'll give you one. I remember him getting an assist.
Go on.
Was it a goal or an assist? I think it was an assist. Sam Hutchinson.
Oh mate, what a player!
Yeah.
I'll give you another
Sure,
one.
he went out on loan to Yeovil.
I'll give you another one. Thomas Callas.
Got him.
Mate, he played in that game against Liverpool, didn't he? The slip game.
Yeah.
Was that the slip game?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah. And he was playing at right back. Jose Mourinho brought him in.
Yeah.
He played at Bristol City for a while, actually, I think. He was a decent player.
Izzy Brown.
Is he what?
Izzy Brown.
Is he Brown?
That was his name.
Is
wasn't
he?
it? Yeah, no.
Sorry, I thought you were bringing something in.
No, Izzy Brown. That was his name, innit? The player.
Yeah. Was he Huddersfield? Did he play for?
Someone like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't Maatson at Huddersfield?
No, Maatson was Burnley, but what before that? You saying?
Yeah, I'm sure Maatson played for Huddersfield
Did he?
at one point. Yeah.
Isn't Matos at Huddersfield now?
Yeah, I
he
think
looks
he could
good.
be.
I
I
like
think
him.
he could
By
be.
the way, mate, he's another right winger.
Yeah, fucking
He's
hell.
playing as a
Got him
midfielder
coming
now.
out our ears,
Yeah,
haven't we?
yeah.
So Sarr can go. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a few names at you. This isn't me definitely or definitively saying that I think they need to go, but I'm going to throw these names at you. Let's start off with Chilldog, Ben Chilwell.
This is high up your list. This is in no particular order. Or maybe it is in particular order because you obviously don't like Chilwell. You keep going on about
Mate,
Cucurella as your favourite
I
one.
love Chilwell. My problem is this. It looks, for the most part, I get formations aren't really even a thing anymore. You know, teams completely change how they're sort of shaped depending on where the ball is and whatnot. But Ben Chilwell doesn't really play that well on a four at the back for me.
He could invert though. He could invert.
Yeah, he could.
He's an inverter.
Yeah, I mean, he did sort of invert against Middlesbrough. And
He did.
He had an absolute class match.
Yeah.
However, I've made the point, so I'll do it very briefly. If we are acknowledging that we're going to take a hit on one of the flanks in terms of paying big wages for a guy that's not available there the most, right? Really, you shouldn't do that, should you?
No.
You shouldn't do that.
No.
You shouldn't do that. I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. Don't do it twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the fact that those two boys have played like 25 total games together since we won the Champions League,
yeah,
it's scary.
I mean, mate, yeah, that's mental,
Yeah.
Absolutely mental. And we're not going to get rid of Reece. He's club captain. I just sort of feel like maybe it's going to be Chile's time to go. And I think at the age he's at, of course, look, you know, players like Pulisic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek have left Chelsea. And the whole injury struggle was almost like a thing of the past. They've not been injured all season, and maybe Chilwell could do that. Maybe, you know, there was a time not long ago when Chilwell was wanted by Man City, wasn't there?
Yep.
Maybe Chile goes somewhere, stays fit, and shows that he's the best left back that, you know, our nation has got, which he still very possibly is. But I just think that at the minute, maybe
I don't know where he goes next, you know.
Really?
I'm really struggling to think of who could afford the wages and where he could go and fit in. Because let's be honest, like let's think about it quickly. Does he get in the Spurs team over Udogie? Probably not. Does he get in the Villa team? Maybe.
Luka Digne.
Yeah, but he's their second choice. Who's their I think
first
maybe
choice? Who's
Moreno is the first one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think
yeah. Chile still does if he's fit and available, but that's such a big if. It's like, if he's fit and available. Well, the injury record would tell you he's not been available for more than 50% of the matches. If that, maybe 30% of the matches in 3 seasons or something?
Do you know what, mate? I've just thought about it, actually. The answer is Newcastle.
It is, really.
The answer is
It
Newcastle.
They need a left back over there.
Yeah. And I think he could do bloody well at Newcastle.
Bloody well.
Bloody well, mate.
Okay. Do you think he'll move this summer?
No.
No.
I don't think it will happen. Okay. But I think it probably should.
What about Raheem Sterling?
You know our thoughts on this.
Has he got
Everyone
to go?
knows our
Has he
thoughts
got
on
to
this.
go?
I think he has got to go now. I think if we're in this era now where we need to raise as much money as we do, and we're thinking about selling players of the quality of Trev and Connor, I'd much rather offload Raheem. And I know, basically, unfortunately, mate, the amount of money we're going to take a bath on Raheem.
Of course we are.
So
anyone would be, to be honest.
But it's the wage bill. Like, if we can offset the wages, like what people forget as well is it's not just the transfer fees, it's the wages. And with this guy being on 325 grand a week, you can save so much money. Like that over the season, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
what about destination for Raheem Sterling? Where do you think he could
I think
go?
the only place that is possible is Saudi. I think that's the only way.
Really?
Well, who is going to pay the wages otherwise?
Yeah, but like I hate this conversation, of look, I'm not a footballer. I'm not earning that type of money, right? But let's say, for example, Sterling's sort of performances. I know he's had a few good games start of the season, but he's very much dipped in level.
Yeah.
If you take the 2 years as a whole at Chelsea, have we got value for money and wages?
We haven't.
No,
we haven't.
So if you use a comparison, it's like me getting paid X from Misfits, losing 3 fights on the bounce, and then going, well, I won't get no more fights on Misfits because they can't afford to pay me what? No, I've just lost 3 fights on the bounce. I'm taking less.
You deserve it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm taking less money. Why do footballers... I'm not saying there's ones that don't break the exception, but why do footballers think that? Like, oh, you can't get less in money. I get it. It's a short shelf life and whatever. But if I'm Raheem Sterling and I'm currently on 325 grand a week and another Premier League side, possibly one that are playing Europa League football, something like that, if another Premier League side offered me 150 grand a week, half of what I was earning before, I would take it.
It's a short career though, isn't it? Like, as well, there are teams out there that will pay him 600 grand a week in Saudi. Like, that's the thing. Like, mate, if you're sat there right now, you're sat at home and you're going, do you know what? I could play the top level and I could get 325 grand a week, or I could go to Saudi, be there for 2 years and set my family and my children's children up for their entire life just by playing a couple of years there. You can understand why people do that.
Children are already set up for life.
Yeah, but they'll be even more set up for life, mate. I think we have this thing, and certain players do care about this, about legacy and about playing at the top level for a certain amount of time. Take Thiago Silva is the prime example. This guy should be on 300 grand a week and he's on 110 grand a week at Chelsea. He's done exactly what you said. He's said, do you know what, as I'm getting older, I can't get the wages. If I want to have a good lifestyle and live in London and give my kids a nice life in London, I'm going to have to take a bath on the wages. And he's done that. And I actually don't know why he even did do that, because he could be earning so much more money.
Oh, yeah.
But that you can understand why people don't want to do it. And that's why I can understand why Raheem might say he wants one more big payday. And there are two options, actually. There is Saudi, and I think in the MLS he could potentially get a decent amount of money as well. So I could see him going to America.
I'd go MLS.
I would go MLS if I were him, yeah. But he won't. I don't know if he'd earn 300 grand a week in MLS.
Be good though, wouldn't it? Go do a little season with Messi.
It would be great, yeah.
Very similar in playing style as well.
Yeah, similar abilities.
Yeah. Okay, so Sturbo, probably go. I've got Mikhailo Mudryk written down here.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. That's very cheeky.
Talk to me.
That's very cheeky.
Well,
I don't think anyone is talking about offloading him. I mean, loan maybe.
I'm not saying he needs to be sold.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he needs to be sold.
I mean, it's on your list.
Well, actually, I've got a dash next to it.
Okay.
And it says...
The dash says everything.
Mudryk, question mark. Will this be his last season if he doesn't significantly improve? So what I'm saying is
this season or next season are you talking about? This season...
No, not enough time.
Yeah.
3 games left.
Yeah.
Although I would have liked to have seen a lot more from him, because there was a time we were going, well, give him a run in the team, I would say
he's had a good run.
He's had a good run.
He
has had a good run.
Yeah.
And since he's had a run, I wouldn't say his performances have upticked. But I do acknowledge also, he can be a handful. He probably... What he does is probably like, if he's on the pitch for 90 minutes, other players might give you a 7 over 90 minutes, a 7 out of 10 rating.
Yeah.
What he will do is give you a 9 out of 10 rating for 20 minutes and then a 4 for the remaining 70. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so does it even itself out? Well, if he produces a moment of brilliance in that 20-minute spell and it gets us a goal or he gets an assist, then yeah, potentially, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, the numbers that he will finish this season with, he's not going to finish this season on 10 goals and assists. No. He's what's he on at the minute?
I think it's 6.
Yeah,
I think it might be 6 in the Premier League. I think that is.
Do you know what though? The way we're scoring goals, he could finish on 10 goals and assists. Let's say he does, and that's a high ceiling. Yeah, we're giving him a bit of leverage there, right? To say, right, you're going to get up there at the end of the season. If he does finish on 10 goals and assists, what I'm saying is, I don't think at the end of next season, if he finishes once again on 10 goals and assists, I don't think that's enough. I don't think that is enough to justify us continuing to even have him in the first.
If you look
team
at the minutes, him and Noni are pretty similar in terms of the goal involvements. Pretty similar now in terms of their minutes. So again,
eye test.
The eye test is 100% important, but in terms of their actual contributions, I'm just saying they are very similar. And then he's also very similar to Raheem Sterling. So I know we are talking about offloading Raheem, but I think Raheem's at a very different stage of his career and also on a very different wage and a very different profile. I do think with Mudryk, we don't have a lot of options at left wing, especially if Sterling does get sold. I think even if we do strengthen, I think he's a very good backup. And I do think if you look at the rumours, there are a lot of teams that would be very happy to take him off our hands.
Can I give you an ultimatum? What would you rather, right? At the end of this season, we move Mudryk on and we get 40 million for him, yeah? And we get Ian Maatsen back and he plays left wing for us. Or would you rather Ian Maatsen gets sold for 35 million to Borussia Dortmund and we keep hold of Mykhailo Mudryk?
I would rather play a left winger at left wing. I think regardless of actually the player. So I'd take selling Maatsen.
Really?
Yeah. I think what you've also got to factor in is that Maatsen effectively has been booked in terms of the FFP stuff as well. So it's a bit difficult to say. Like basically the club have already offloaded him. Yep. Look, if you're asking me who I rate as a player technically right now, Maatsen is a better technical player than Mudryk right now. But for me, the Mudryk factor is the potential where he can get to. And that's what I'm judging it on.
Players that could possibly go on loans, I've sort of bookmarked a couple of names. And what I'm more so trying to do here is possibly go with loans that like we haven't seen already. So obviously, if we don't sell Amari Hutchinson, would I like him to come back or do next season on loan at Ipswich? I think I'd like him to do next season on loan at Ipswich again. The likes of a Bashir Humphreys, if he doesn't come out, I want him to go back on loan. So the names that I'm listing here are probably not as much,
I think both of those are going to get sold this summer.
Yeah.
I think if I was a betting man, I'd be putting money on Humphreys and Hutchinson to go.
Fair enough.
This summer. I just think when you think about it, obviously there won't be as much book value on Hutchinson, but Humphreys, just take the money and run. Unfortunately, he's a very good player. I really like him, but I don't think they see him as a Premier League level.
So my names I've got down here: Alfie Gilchrist.
Yeah, Alfie Gilchrist will go on loan. I think Cassaday will go on loan.
Where would you put Alfie Gilchrist?
I would personally want to see him at a high level Championship team.
Yeah,
almost like the Ipswich with Hutchinson.
Do you know where, for some reason, always just is in my head with Gilchrist?
Go on.
Don't know why.
Are you going to say Leicester?
No.
Go on.
Luton.
So back in the Championship goes back to Luton.
Say Luton went down.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep their manager, which I bloody hope they do, I could see that working out really well. I think he'd play week in, week out.
Ugachukwu.
Yes, I would keep him. Bearing in mind we've had so many issues at DM, and the Enzo problem that we've had. I do think we need some cover there, and the Lavia issue. You're not sure, and I think we do have to now admit that Santos will probably be on loan again.
Yep.
So I do think Ugachukwu needs to be a squad player.
And Cassaday, or loan him out?
I think Cassaday could do with another loan, and I think it was a bit of a shame that he came back.
I think he could do with another loan to Leicester.
Yeah, I think he could.
Play a bit of Premier League football with Leicester.
Do you reckon?
Be a sub.
Are you worried about his game time if he plays for Leicester in the Premier League?
No, not really.
Because he didn't play week in, week out for Leicester in the Championship.
No.
It's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, but he'd still get more game time than he would.
I think for me, what I want to see with all of these players is they're playing week in, week out. Look at the benefit of Santos and Angelo have had in Strasbourg playing. Well, they haven't been playing consistently, but recently they've had a run of games. And that's actually really helped them. I just want these boys, there's a prestige of playing in the Premier League, and the Premier League experience is important. But what I also would rather them do is go to the Championship at a high-flying, successful team. They all look really good. They get loads of goals and assists, and they get the confidence, and they improve as players. And I think with some of the managers in the Championship, they could do that.
Do you know who I do want to see have a little loan spell in the Championship next season? David Washington.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I think we haven't seen that much of him for the Chelsea first team, but what I've seen of him for the academy, he's looked really, really good.
Yeah, he has looked good. But he just doesn't get a sniff, does he?
No, he doesn't. So we got to talk about another striker as well. What about Fofana? What would you do with him?
Depending on what we do. If we don't go and sign a Victor Osimhen, I'd bring him back.
So if we do sign Victor Osimhen or a striker, what would you do with him?
See what sort of bids we're getting or what sort of interest we're getting. Possibly loan him out. But if we can get 30 million...
Yeah. You'd sell him?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
I like the look of him.
Yeah, I like the look of him. Yeah. I like the cut of his jib. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of, unless I'm not
We've got Moreira, who the comments rightly called out for us, by the way. He's back in the academy. We must admit that.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Didn't play well out on
Well,
loan,
people have been saying that he's been playing really well in the academy, and I have looked him up afterwards, and he has been playing well. The problem for me
we
is...
should go and watch an academy game, me and you.
I'd like to go and do that. Yeah. I think I saw him play... Was it the Carabao Cup game right at the start of the season? Was it Wimbledon?
No, you went to AFC when Noni tore it up.
Yeah, was that Wimbledon where he played?
Yeah.
He looked fucking awful. Yeah. He looked really bad. For me, I'd sell him.
Yeah.
People, let us know what players you want out of Chelsea next season. Let us also know who you think deserves a loan and where they could land on the loans. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you once again to my friend Josh Aveste for joining me. His channel is linked in the description, so head over there, subscribe to his channel, like the video, subscribe, all the good stuff. I will see you all in the next one.